Okay, as I mentioned, the webinar is now recording. So welcome everyone. It's good to see the 8 people on the call right now. This meeting tonight is only if you or your child is participating or will participate in credit recovery during the second semester. So if you or your child is not participating in credit recovery, meaning they have to make up a class that they failed in order to graduate, then you're welcome to stick around, but you don't have to. All right. So once again, this is for any students and or parents who are participating in credit recovery. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. And this is a webinar format. So you can see myself, Mrs. Mas, and Mr. Rubio joining me tonight. Mr. Rubio is our assistant principal, and Ms. Mas is one of our counselors here at Imperial High School. So tonight's topic is credit recovery. So if you have questions, ladies and gentlemen, you can plug them into the chat, and Ms. Mas will help me navigate and answer those questions. So I don't want to keep you here very long. It should be no longer than I've budgeted 30 minutes for this call. It may not even go that long. So credit recovery for parents and students. Today is Wednesday, January 18th, and it's the spring semester. So credit recovery. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a contract or an agreement for credit recovery and use this as a guide to go over the expectations. So whenever a student, and right now our priority really is our seniors. So if we have seniors who have failed a class and are in need of recovering that credit to graduate, we're prioritizing any seniors who may have failed a class or are at risk of not graduating in June. So if they are participating in credit recovery, they will be given a contract or I'm sorry, an agreement stipulating the conditions for credit recovery. So this is an opportunity for students to recover credit so that they can graduate from high school. But we do have some expectations that we want to go over with you and answer any of your questions. So the first one is attendance. Attendance is taken every morning, and credit recovery, the class begins at 7 a.m. here at the high school every day that school is in session. So we do expect our students to be on time. We do expect them to be here every day. If a student has excessive unexcused absences or tardies, the student may lose the privilege of participating in credit recovery. So interventions will begin at 3 absences and or tardies. Mr. Ortega is the teacher who oversees credit recovery. So he'll take attendance and he'll communicate with myself, with Mr. Rubio, as well as with Mrs. Din or the counselor to whenever a student is missing, has hit that 3 absences threshold, if you will. So students are expected to work solely on credit recovery courses while in the classroom. You know, we want students to remain on task, and it's not a time, it's a time that's designed for them to take advantage of the opportunity to recover that credit. So if any poor decisions as far as behavior is concerned, they would be referred to administration, and we would reach out to you and let you know what's going on. Academic dishonesty, also known as cheating, we definitely don't want. We want students to do their own work. So if a student makes a poor choice of engaging in academic dishonesty, we'll have to look at the situation, and they will be at risk of being dropped from credit recovery. Any form of cheating, plagiarism, or using somebody else's work as your own is considered academic dishonesty. Quizzes and exams must be taken in class without exception. to ensure fidelity to the program, as well as accountability. Students have the opportunity to work on the course at their leisure, and we actually encourage them to do so at home or after, not just during the hour that they're here. Now, the quizzes and or tests will need to be taken here on campus under the supervision of Mr. Ortega. And if he's not available, it can be under the supervision of an administrator. But the quizzes and tests or exams must be taken in class. With the exception of bottled water, we discourage food or drinks in the classroom. I know it's early, and however, we do have the very expensive computer equipment in this lab. So we want to make sure that nothing is spilled. We don't have that problem, but we do want to limit the drinks in class to bottled water. As soon as credit recovery class is over, the students are more than welcome to go get breakfast here at the school that's provided for all of them. Now, we do expect our kids to complete the entire course. If they don't complete the full course, they will receive, they will earn an F for the credit recovery course. Also, you need to know that there's going to be a progress report that's going to come out on February 6th, March 20th. Because the course is not complete yet, those progress reports will have a mark of an F in the progress report. But if it's a credit recovery course, we know that the course is in progress. Now, students are required to log on a minimum of 45 hours for the course. That used to be a little bit higher. We're constantly working on improving our credit recoveries program. So we're looking at 45 hours at combination of school and at home to receive credit for the course. In addition, of course, to passing the quizzes and assessments successfully. Now, our seniors, our class of 2023, if your child is a senior and they are in credit recovery, they're not eligible to participate in senior activities until their credit recovery classes are completed and posted in the transcript. So right now, we are just into the third week of the second semester. So we're working on getting the contract signed and signed by the administrator as well as the parent, and getting everybody in credit recovery. I visited credit recovery class today, and there were about 9 to 10 students in there, and I welcomed them just briefly, and I explained a little bit of this to them and reminded them of the meeting this afternoon. So right now, your courses will begin at different times. Friday, January 20th is the date we have on this one. Some of you started on Tuesday, some of you started on Wednesday, and some of you today. But we're looking at having everything complete by May 25th. It's very important that the courses that you're making adequate progress in the course. And then the parent meeting that's happening right now is what we're in the process of doing. So the call is recorded. So I'm going to create a YouTube link and share this out with everyone as well, for anyone who wasn't able to make it here tonight. I do want to mention that there may be some students who require or who need more than one course. We are only allowing, our counselors are aware of the courses that need to be recovered, but we're only opening one course at a time at this stage of the game. Now, the reason for that is because we want to make sure that the students are focused on making progress on each course. So if we open up 3 courses and they're doing a little bit here and there, based on our experience, they have a tendency not to finish on time. Now, after a few weeks in the first course, if the progress is being made, we can consider that, but as of right now, only one course at a time. Okay. And the sooner we start, the sooner we can log hours, the sooner we can get interventions, and the sooner we can make sure that we are passing that course. Okay.
Mr. Apodaca, sorry, there's a question. Can I answer it?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, as Mr. Apodaca explained, the deadline is May 25th. So they have from last week or this week that they started up until May 25th to complete their courses, 1 or 3, however many they have. And so the question or the comment is the deadline for grad night is this Friday to put a deposit. That doesn't give them time to finish. Credit recovery started this week. While, yes, the deadline for grad night to reserve the spot is this Friday, they can go ahead and reserve their spot. They just have to ensure that they are going to complete the class before grad night, which is by May 25th. Grad night is May 30th. So it gives them the entire second semester to complete, but they can still reserve their spot even though they're in credit recovery. They just have to ensure to complete it. Now, if they don't complete it, then they won't be able to participate in for grad night, and the money will not be is not refundable. Correct, Mr. Apodaca?
Yes, Ms. Moss, that is absolutely correct, and thank you for answering that. You're absolutely right. I do want to stress that if for some unfortunate reason the student does not complete the credit recovery course, then they would not be eligible to attend grad night, as well as the money is not the deposit or whatever has been invested is not refundable. So at this point, we'll take any questions. Honestly, we wish you the best of luck with credit recovery. Nobody likes to have to be in credit recovery, but even better is that we have the opportunity to provide our students with the option of recovering credit. If you're a senior, then the more time you spend on putting forth that authentic effort into completing the course, the sooner you'll be able to log in those 45 hours. And just remember that your testing will have to happen here on campus. And if there's any questions as the process moves forward, if your child's last name begins A through L, you can reach out to Mr. Rubio. And if your child's last name begins M through Z, you can reach out to Mrs. Din. And if your child's last name goes from A through Z, you can reach out to yours truly as well. We have a team of 3 administrators, 4 counselors as well. And we work together to make sure we are meeting the needs of all of our kids as best as we possibly can. So with that said, like I said, I'll be sending out a link to this so you can re-watch it again, and feel free to reach out if there's any questions. Ms. Mas, are there any other questions in the chat that I need to address?
Yes, there's one more. It says, so how about other activities? Are they eligible as long as they finish the course, or how will that be handled?
So that's a good question. So for example, if we have the good news is the majority of our senior activities take place toward the end of the semester, thereby giving students time, especially our seniors, to finish credit recovery or finish the course that they need for credit recovery. So if a senior activity comes up and they are still enrolled in credit recovery and have not completed, then they are not eligible for the senior activity. So usually grad night is one of the last activities to take place, and it's a big one. So with that one, from now until then, there is plenty of time for a student to complete the course or the courses. So we want our kids to be successful, and we want them to participate in as many activities as they can. Unfortunately, right now, they have to be on track to graduate to participate in the senior activities.
Mr. Apodaca, can I add something to that? There's no more questions, but if I can just add.
Absolutely.
So parents, what we tell our students, this is Ms. Moss, is work on it. Don't just work on it during credit recovery. they have access to their online work 24/7. So wherever they're at, as long as they have Wi-Fi access, they have they can work on their class or classes. We want them to complete it as soon as possible for, reasons like Mr. Apodaca said, eligibility, to let you guys know that they're on track. And if they have one more than one class, then they can move on to the second one. So we just want to make sure that parents, you are aware that they have access to it 24/7. If you guys have any questions or need additional support, Mr. Ortega is also available certain days after school. The kids just have to ask what days this semester. Last semester, I believe he was available Tuesdays and Thursdays after school. This semester might change, but you guys are more than welcome to email him, include us in the email. But Mr. Ortega is available for them to help them. Okay, thank you.
Ms. Moss, there was another question by a parent here. It says, junior students have an F in last semester in a class. He is eligible to participate. Well, athletically speaking, if he or she's in a sports team, they are allowed to have one F, just as long as their overall GPA is above a 2.0. If they have two Fs or more, regardless of a 2.0 or better, they become ineligible for the rest of that season. In terms of activities or being able to participate, whether they're in clubs, that does not affect them. So they can continue participating in clubs regardless of an F last semester. Hope that answers that question.
I also see another question in the chat. So they can log on at home, but tests are only at school. That is correct.
Right.
That is correct.
They have to attend the credit recovery class daily.
Correct. Yeah, they have to attend credit recovery at 7 o'clock Monday through Friday, or every day that school is in session. And they also have the opportunity to log in at home, but the testing must be done here at school.
There's another question. It says, how about the Disney trip? So that is grad night. Disney trip is grad night, and grad night is May 30th. And credit recovery is, they have to complete the class by May 25th. So they do have plenty of time. They have January, February, March, April, May to complete the course or courses, depending on your child. So if it's not completed by May 25th, then they're not going to be able to graduate and obviously won't be able to participate in grad night.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is 5:50. It's been about 25 minutes, maybe 23 minutes. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of your evening to join us tonight, and for really working with your child to make sure that they're taking care of what they have to take care of to graduate. I have no doubt that your kids, if they focus and they put their best foot forward, they'll be finished with credit recovery sooner than not. Okay. If you want more information about credit recovery, you're free to reach out to the administrator that corresponds with your child's last name, or to myself. The meeting is being recorded, and it will be shared out with everyone once I create the YouTube link. So it should be sent out sometime tomorrow or before the week is over.
Mr. Apodaca, if I can add, I think I see a few parents who are junior parents with junior students. If that is the case for you and your child failed a course last semester, depending on the amount of courses that they failed, if they failed one or maybe two, then we're going to maybe recommend summer school, just because right now we're making our seniors a priority. If we do have openings after all of our seniors attend this week and make sure that they're attending, and if we have a seat open, we're prioritizing our students who have multiple Fs. If your child just received one F from last semester as a junior, we will sign them up for summer school.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, I want to once again thank everyone. I want to thank Mr. Rubio and Ms. Mas for helping moderate the webinar and the chat this evening. And thank you very much. And make it a masterpiece. Tiger Pride.